Hi everyone, and welcome to Sit in It for a Bit with Arne and Carlos, and we are as always your hosts
Arne and Carlos.
And we are back with yet another episode of Sit in It for a Bit, the podcast where you sit and knit for a bit while we recap everything that has been going on here on top of the mountains in Norway where we live.
Yeah, and we don't only knit because there's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah.
So we talk about anything. And this week has been the last days has actually been very nice because we have had so much nice weather.
Yeah.
And we have cleared the terrace for ice and snow, and the furniture is out.
Yeah.
We had the debut on the sofas this week.
And it's a usual thing actually. We always bring out the outdoor furniture this time of the year because here on top of the Norwegian mountains it gets really sunny and you can get a nice tan if you're out in the terrace. Skies are usually very blue, and it is just a beautiful time of the year. And we really love sitting outdoors in the sun. So we brought out everything. But this year, even though we usually come out this time of the year, it's a little bit different than many other years, isn't it?
Because it's so little snow. Normally it's more snow.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're digging the terrace and we have like a lot of snow around, so we can hardly see the house on the other side of the lake because there's like 2 meters of snow around us. But this year there's nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It was like ice and a little bit of slush.
Yeah.
So it was quick to clear the terrace.
Yeah, Arne cleared it out in about 10 minutes while I was working on the fall costumes the other day. And yesterday we brought out the furniture. I did have a nasty fall though on a little bit of ice.
It's so slippery.
Yeah, it's slippery and I kind of fell down.
You have to buy that sand.
Yeah.
Because it's not safe. Because it's on the road where Carlos has his training studio or what you call it? Treadmill. So we have to be careful.
Yeah, it was very scary, but at the same time I fell in a nice way so that I didn't hurt myself.
I saw it. You did it so gracefully.
Yeah. But we've been talking about it the whole winter that we should get that salt or whatever,
sand.
the little pebbles, and maybe it's time to do it now.
I think we should do it. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, although by the way it's going though, I think that the ice is going to melt before we get a chance.
Because we have another day coming up. Beautiful day.
Yeah, many beautiful days this week apparently. So
it's been a very nice day, and you even brought your embroidery out.
Yeah,
in the sun. So that's nice. We're into that. It's like now we can do that again. So that's nice.
Sit in the sun and do some work is always nice. So we've been updating you week after week on our fall costumes, and it's going pretty well. Actually, from the first week that we showed you the thing that we did, the inner lining, until last week, we'd already come pretty far, and now we've come even further. So it's pretty cool.
And now we have this, we have split the work.
Yeah, we have.
So now you are working on the embroidery because you're so good at it.
Okay.
And I'm doing the lining.
Yeah, and one of the big problems though working now is that it's getting lighter and lighter. And sometimes we just forget about time. Yeah. And suddenly we look at the clock and it's like 8 o'clock and we haven't had dinner yet. So that really screws up our schedule, especially my schedule because I do need to eat regularly.
But yesterday I thought it was like 3 o'clock or something, and it was 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because it's so light now. It's not dark as early as it was. So, but the days are getting longer. They are very quick now.
And we're finally in tune as well with North America because we have centimeters and Americans have inches, and we've got Celsius and Americans have Fahrenheit, and obviously we can't even agree on when to change our clocks. So North America went into summertime a few weeks ago, and we've only just moved to summertime ourselves. So it is a little bit of a thing that nothing's in tune. So for a couple of weeks, Sit in It for a Bit in North America has been an hour earlier than it usually is. Yeah. But I believe that we're now in tune and we're all in summertime, at least in the parts of the world where we do have summertime.
But what is normal time? Is that summer or winter?
No, normal time is winter.
Because my father didn't like the other one.
Summertime?
Yeah, he wanted to have normal time. Yeah. So he he never
Changed his clock.
changed the clock.
Yeah, he was a stubborn old man, wasn't
So
he?
you knew if it was 1 hour late or
Yeah.
or normal. We should do that. Maybe we should stop following.
Yeah, I do like summertime, I have to say, because you know the days are longer, but that's only in summer, obviously. In
But it's
winter,
darker in the morning when you go to summer.
Well,
And
only
then
the
it's
beginning.
lighter in the evening, in the beginning. So
And-
that's a bit confusing.
Yeah, but you know when we get to June and July, the sun will set at 11, and then it will rise again at 2, and it doesn't get dark here. We don't have the midnight sun technically where we live. We are a little bit further down, but in any case, I mean it still won't get dark.
No.
So it's a nice time of the year for
And you
sure.
can work 24 hours.
You can. I feel like I've been working from very early morning until very late in the evening because
But
of
that's
the.
normal, you know, because we can sleep in the winter.
Yeah, that's true.
So- but now we have to finish those jackets.
Yeah, well, we are
It's
moving.
urgent because we're going to travel again, and I think hopefully in the next few days we can finish most of it. We have that all that hand sewing. There's a
We
lot
do,
of
yeah.
hand sewing in the end, and a lot of ironing.
Yeah, so I moved my cup of tea a little bit further away because I'm
Okay,
going to bring
I
out
have to bring-
the white jacket. I don't want to get it, and you can show your black one afterwards.
But yours looks better. It looks easier to.
So anyway, we've come quite a long way now. We finally sewed in the armhole or the sleeves, and we cut a lot of fabric around the armholes, and we cleaned up quite a lot of what was inside as well.
Yeah.
Although there's still some more cleaning up to do, obviously. But we cut the excess fabric around the armholes, sewn in the sleeves. These were already done last week, I believe. But what we've done now is we've done the end of the sleeve as well,
With the embroidery.
and the piping, and we've also done the piping around the collar, as you can see here, the collar, and then all around the front of the jacket. So that's the status now. The jacket is actually made, and the other thing that we're doing right now is I'll show you here, the embroidery that goes along the sides, along the red piping.
And this is the black version,
Yeah.
which is mine. So, but we had to take out all the embroidery because the ones I did was a little bit too tight. I was tightening the green yarn a little bit too much. So now you took it out,
And I
now
did
you
it
have
again,
made
yeah.
it your way, which
Yeah.
I think your way is really nice because
Yeah.
the green thread is more fluffy on yours. So I think it's very nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice on the sleeve as well, I have to say. I'm very, very happy with this sleeve. If you guys can see that. There's a nice little embroidery there. It looks like a simple embroidery, and it is. It is very simple, but you know, sometimes these simple things can be quite difficult to
It's
make.
actually easier to make more complicated things because you can hide
Yeah,
a
you-
lot of
yeah,
things.
you can hide a lot of stuff, but here it's all very visible, and it has to be
Perfect.
done in a certain way. So I have been working quite a lot, and my thumb is very sore now.
I have to get you one of those.
Yeah, thimble.
things. Yeah.
Thimble, I think it's called. I have a sore thumb now because of all the pushing with a needle. But yeah, I did the top. That was already done last week. And then when I did the sleeves this week, I realized that my technique was much better than the week before. So I also ripped up the embroidery on the top of mine, and then I redid them, and then I started doing arnes. And now, because I think you have done more work with your lining, I'm going to embroider the front of your jacket first.
Actually, now I'm on the same step with both of the linings
Okay.
now, and I do a lot of stitching because there's the extra fabric inside the lining to make it more strong. So I have been stitched down that extra fabric, because I don't want it to move around. And I've done the same on mine, the black one, and now I'm going to make the two inner pockets. And I think that will be finished today, and then the front or the facing on the front.
Yeah, so we decided to do this. So up until last week, we were working parallel. So I was doing my jacket and Arne was doing his jacket. But this week, we decided that we were going to focus on what we do best, because that fabric, that lining fabric, is very difficult to work with, and I am not very good at sewing these very slippery fabrics.
It's thin, slippery.
They're awful, and I don't like it.
Moving a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it, and I'm not good at it. So Arne is doing that, and while Arne is doing that, I am doing all the delicate stitching, embroidery on the jackets, because it still has to be done according to the instructions. It has to be done before. And yeah, that was another point. We were talking about it last week, and how it was so good to follow all the instructions, you know, until we realized it wasn't.
Maybe we should have read all of it, but it's like the step one is what you do first, and then
that's what you
adjustment comes later. But like one of the first things we were told to do were to iron on that flisseline.
Yeah, the interfacing
on the sleeves.
Yep. So we did that.
We also did that on the jacket, and it said you should put that on, and you should put up the hem.
Yeah, you put up stitch the hem 6 centimeters. So basically, we had 2 sleeves which had the interfacing ironed on, so it's glued on, and then we had also hemmed the jacket 6 centimeters, and then
further down on the list it says now you should actually find the right length on the sleeve and cut off the fabric you don't need.
So we cutted the fabric we didn't need, and that took away all the interfacing.
On mine it took exactly the length of the interface.
And on mine it took the whole interfacing and then some.
Yeah.
So we had to get the car, and that was the day we said we're not going anywhere today. Yeah. Today we are staying
We're just
home.
Focusing on the jackets, and then we had to get out to get more.
So we had to drive down to the local store to get more interfacing, and Arne had black interfacing on his jacket, and I had white interfacing on my jacket, but the little local store closest to where we live only had white. So
and they're going to stop sell these things. They only have yarn now, and
but you're okay.
White. I used white on mine.
Yeah, even if it's white, you're still okay.
Yeah, you can't see it through the fabric.
So that was a silly thing to do, to sew or iron the interface before cutting the sleeve. And then yesterday, when we were because there's a lot of work involved in fitting these jackets as well. And yesterday was the day when we actually measured. It says on the instructions that from the waist and down it's 30 centimeters.
Yeah, and that comes after you've been told you should.
So we hemmed the jacket.
Stitch the hem.
We hemmed the jacket, and then it turned out that we had to unhem the jacket, cut the jacket, and then hem the jacket again.
Yes.
And what we actually decided to do was not to.
We want to finish the embroidery before we hem the jacket.
So the jacket is not hemmed anymore.
Yeah. So right now we have gone from following the chart or the instructions to not to do what we feel is right.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do now is that Carl's going to finish all the embroideries, because then you have the same stitches everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I will finish the interlining with the inside of the lining with the 2 pockets, 1 pocket on each side, and put on the inner collar and the facing, and then we have a lot of handwork.
Yeah. So I think that, I mean, in my mind, I think we're gonna be ready with everything at the end of this week, except for the hand stitching. Yeah. All the hands, the hand finish, we'll probably leave for Easter, and that will be our Easter vacation work. Probably, and then we'll be ready by May 17th. If worst comes to worst, Arne, we'll have to take the jackets with us on Hurtigruten, because we're doing a cruise in May. We'll have to take the jackets there and do all the hand finishing while everybody else is knitting.
Or we can bring it to Italy.
No,
we're going on a holiday.
We don't have. No, we're going on a holiday. We're not gonna. It's actually not a holiday. It's a business trip, but where we are vetting the hotels for our Italy trip in May. But we're going to be moving from place to place, getting in and out of cars and packing and unpacking. Yeah. So no way. No. But potentially we could take these on a hanger on Hurtigruten and work by hand while we are on the boat.
And you're so good at ironing, so I think if we iron down all the seam allowances for the hand knit,
Yeah.
because they have to be lined that folded in, I think. If you steam them really well,
Yeah.
it should be quick.
Yeah.
A lot of stitching first.
Yeah. But the thing I'm noticing now with the jackets is all the changes that we have to do all the time. So, like for example, on my jacket, we had to take out and put the sleeves in twice because of issues with how the sleeves were
Yeah, they were like
falling.
folded up.
Now this morning, we had to take out the shoulder pads and fit them again because, everything just moves. And when you move a little line here, then you have to move everything. So
at first we put them in like where they normally are, but then again, it's nicer to put on the jacket and place the shoulder pads so the jacket looks good on the person.
But not only that,
we
but
move them a little bit, and now I think you look much better in.
but not only that, but the sleeve has to look right as well, and it
Yeah.
has to fall the right way. And there were a lot of issues on my jacket with the sleeves, and I was saying to Arne that I don't like there were some. It was bulky.
Be careful with the
Yeah, it was bulky, and there were some issues. But now it's very difficult to see it when it's not on. But now I'm happy with the result
I think
of the
it's better
sleeves.
now.
Yeah,
And now soon we can take out all these
the
threads.
basting stitches, as I learned they're called.
What's it called?
Basting.
Basting stitches.
So
But
yeah,
it felt so good. Like we have all these threads that some of these are really old,
yeah,
and now we used it for batching,
yeah,
No. basting. So it's a good thing.
Yeah,
We get to use all the old threads.
definitely.
So that's-
Anyway, it looks like the jackets will be ready for our National Day on May 17th when we wear them. If worst comes to worst, as long as the embroideries are done and the buttons are on and all this basting is removed, we could wear them without lining.
Or you just pin them.
Yeah, just pretend. But we're not going to do that. We're going to finish them, and yeah, a good idea is
But
to
there's
do...
a lot of handwork. I'm not so excited about that.
No.
Because we have to attach the shoulder, the lining, the shoulder and the body. That has to be attached by hand.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of...
And that's stuff that I'm not very good at, so you might have double the work there.
But I think I'm going to make some folds or stuff everywhere.
Yeah. I think we actually will just put them on a hanger and bring them to on board Hurtigruten, and we can do a little bit of work there. And then those people who are on board will see what the folk costume jacket looks like, which will be fun to show them.
Maybe we can send them around. People can help us.
Yeah. if we have any tailors on board, now's the time to make yourself known.
Yeah. It's like when you're in the airplane, any doctors.
And
But I mean, preparing for our trip to Italy.
what have you been doing?
Because I have found so many UFOs the last days, and now this one,
Oh yeah,
the
the good old sweater.
brioche sweater, I finished the body and I even made the rib, but I'm still working on the sleeves, and
one of the sleeves is still with your brother, isn't
it's
it?
still with my brother, and I'm gonna bring this to Italy. And I'm gonna finish it now.
Yeah, we can probably do that when we are in the car, because
See,
we're not going to
the
be
sleeves
driving.
are coming. I'm almost up to
It's very
the
wrinkled.
elbow. It's been in the bag.
Yeah.
But this sleeve will be quite narrow because the body is big and the sleeves are narrow.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm finishing this during the trip to Italy.
Hopefully, yeah. And then I think
hope.
you packing some books as well
I found
for
this.
Italy.
Yeah, because I bought this book. It's called The Grand Hotel Europe.
Grand Hotel Europa.
Grand Hotel
Europa.
Europa. Ilja Leonard Pfeiffer. I think he's from the Netherlands. He's Dutch. And this book was, I read the review on the NRK. The national TV has this website where they tell you about new books, and I liked the review, so I bought it and I started to read the book. But in the beginning, it's all about being in Venice and Italy, and I like to read books
Yeah.
which is about the place I'm at, and we're going to start our Italy trip in Venice.
By coincidence, we're going to be in
So-
Venice. Yeah. So that
And
would be.
This is the book for the trip. So I'm
Yeah.
going to knit my brioche sweater and read my book. That's what
I love the cover. The colors are beautiful.
It's beautiful.
This is a book that I probably not display this way. I would display it this
That
way
way.
because it is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Speaking of books, Arne,
Yeah.
we went to Oslo last week. We did our speech, our lecture.
I think it went well.
It went okay.
But your technology thing.
My
was a little
technology,
bit
out of sync. Yeah.
You haven't used it for 2.
Yeah, the
3
remote
days.
control to my computer was not working properly, even though I checked the batteries and
Yeah,
everything.
so that was a little bit stressful for you, I think, but I think it went well.
Yeah, I think it
was
went
nice.
well. I mean, we told some new jokes, mainly about being locked up here for a couple of
nice
years.
to be out and see.
Yeah,
people.
it was really nice to be, and there were a lot of people there. I
Yeah.
mean, I was surprised over how many came, and it's nice. We don't have any restrictions in Norway anymore, and so you are allowed to meet a big group of people now, and nobody needs to wear a mask anymore if they don't want to. And yeah, it was very nice to do this, the first time in 2 years,
Yeah.
and we hope to be able to travel a little bit more. And do a few more of these this year, but we won't be. I mean, the next one we'll be on board Hurtigruten in
Yeah.
May, and then probably if we go to the US in the fall, we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, and then in the morning we had a fun meeting that went really well. Unfortunately, we can't talk about it here, but we had a great meeting that went amazingly well.
We do a lot of stuff we can't
Yeah.
talk about on YouTube.
Yeah, well, but this one particular is regulated, so we can't. And then, yeah, we went to some bookstores because of a certain book that Arne is looking for. Could you tell everybody about that?
It's the new Dolly Parton book because I need to have that. I was actually thinking I should wait and see if it came in Norwegian, but I don't think it
Probably
will.
not.
Maybe in the future, I
Maybe.
don't know. But I went to the bookshop and asked for it, and they only had the paperback. And
Arne is
I
not.
can't buy Dolly Parton in a paperback
No.
because I would probably read it like so many times, and it's like it's a collectible thing. So I need to have the real thing. So now it's ordered.
You've
and
ordered it.
from the local.
Did you get any?
Bookstore.
Did you get any information on when you'll get it?
Oh, they're always calling me. You're so
Oh.
far behind me.
I'm sorry.
I have to come back.
I
like-
made myself very comfortable here.
You're like way back there and tiny.
Yeah, it's nice and comfortable. So anyway, your book is ordered. If I understood correctly, while we were at the bookstore, it's a crime.
It's a crime. Like what I read like
It's a crime novel.
I
Or
went to Amazon and I read a little bit, and it's something. If I understood it correctly, it's a crime novel because the man she's writing with is a crime author, Patterson, I think it was.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this, and Dolly Parton has some lyrics, I think, some text.
Cool.
So, but I really don't know. I read some comments on it on Amazon, but then I decided I'm not going to read that because there was like someone who really loved it and someone who really hated it, and I prefer to read
Yeah.
the like in the national TV's website where they have
Yeah.
like people who actually work with criticizing books or reviewing books. I prefer to read that instead of reading hundreds of comments.
Yeah.
So I decided that I want the book anyway.
You should always take a review with a pinch of salt. And if we've learned something this week or this past week, is that you shouldn't be a sheep. You shouldn't follow everybody else. And do as the instructions say, because that usually doesn't
can't
work
go
out.
wrong,
You have to use your brain. You can't be lazy. You have to use your brain and you have to think for yourself. And when it comes to the pattern that we were reading, it was the stupidest thing we could ever do to not think and decide that we're going to read the instructions and we're going to follow it like that. And then look what happened. We had to cut the interfacing. We had to go buy new interfacing. We had to unhem the jacket. I mean, it's just a lot of wasted time.
But you know, Carlos, like when it comes to book, I don't think it's a huge problem, because like when we travel in the summer with the Beetle, if there are a book I get and I don't think it's that interesting, I put it in the car and I leave it when we travel around in Norway. So you can leave it in the hotel, because a lot of the hotels, they have bookshelves where guests are actually leaving books. But we also have those old telephone kiosks where you can swap books. So if you have a book you don't think is so interesting, bring it to one of those telephone boxes and change it with another book if you think maybe there's always someone who will like it. If you don't like it, someone else will like it.
But what I was going to say on it was that when it came to the instructions, we should have used our brain. We should have not been lazy. We should have read everything. And when it comes to reviews, I always take reviews with a grain of salt. Usually if it's a professional reviewer reviewing a TV show on a newspaper, or they're reviewing a book and the book gets like a lot of rave reviews from a professional reviewer, it will make me interested, and then I'll watch. Say that it's a TV show that gets a 6 out of 6, right, or a 5-star review. I go there, I watch a little bit, and then I make up my mind whether I like it or not. So that kind of review is fine. And the same with this book. It got rave reviews. You still don't know how wonderful it is, but you know that it's got.
Because I bought books who got great reviews, and I
you
find
did like
them boring.
Exactly.
So you never know. You just have to.
Yeah.
But I like the way it was written about the people in the book, and it's like this atmosphere which I like. It's almost like, what's it, Wes Anderson movie?
Yeah, Grand Hotel.
That's
that's this one. Yeah.
The Grand Hotel. No, the Budapest.
Yeah, Grand Hotel Budapest.
Yeah. Like that movie, because they said this was something similar.
But anyway, what I was going to say about the reviews is that I take reviews of random people with a pinch of salt. If you are reading a pattern, I mean, say that you're on Ravelry and you're looking for a knitting pattern, and there's a knitting pattern that has 75 reviews. I don't think that those 75 reviews are specifically or particularly helpful, because it depends on the person writing the review. Some people writing a bad review could actually be but let me explain. Some people that are giving a pattern a bad review could actually be a really bad knitter, or somebody who's just started and who hasn't understood something that is very simple, right? Some reviews, some people who say that this is the easiest pattern in the world, they could be very advanced knitters, so that when you get the pattern, it's actually not. So I think that it's very important to take all those reviews with a grain of salt, and kind of make up your own mind about whether this is something for you or not, and not follow the reviews blindly as well. That's my opinion.
I remember one that was really funny a few years ago. It was someone who said something or write something about our knitted balls, and they felt cheated because the book had only knitted balls. Then I think you shouldn't give a review if you can't read. That's rule number 1. First you have to learn to read before you give a review.
Because the book was
55 knitted Christmas balls.
One basic pattern.
One basic set is on the cover.
It's on the cover.
Hello. So don't read reviews.
No, do read reviews, but always consider that what is right for you is not necessarily right for somebody that gave it a good review or a bad review. But Dolly Parton
can never be wrong.
No, but a lot of people did give her a bad review, and you don't want to read, you don't want to believe them, you want to read it and make up your mind.
How can you give Dolly Parton a bad
Exactly. Review? It's the same when you stay at a hotel. Like if I review a hotel, or if I look at a hotel I want to stay at, there's so many different factors that will influence whether I love the stay or not. I mean, it's from a financial point of view. If it's a very expensive hotel, I may have higher expectations than if I don't feel the hotel is, or if it's for me an affordable hotel, I may have less expectations than if it's a very expensive hotel. And sometimes people are writing a really bad review of a 5-star luxury hotel because they didn't find a pen in the drawer, and that's because they're being overly critical because they saved up all this money to spend in this very expensive hotel. And you know, that's what I mean. The experiences are different because people have different points of view. So bottom line is, I mean, and it goes for us last week, don't be sheep, don't follow anything blindly, and do a little bit of thinking on your own, because in the end of the day, you know,
I think we should have read all the instructions, because then we would have seen. Because I thought that the length was how it should be, since we were told to.
No, because I've been looking at pictures of guys in the folk costume, so I've seen from the beginning, and especially in yours, that yours was way longer than mine. So I was like, why do we do that? But I didn't question it like that. I was like, well, it says it, so it has to be like that.
They're coming up.
Yeah,
the jackets are.
They're gonna be shortened up. So anyway, that was all about, you know, that was what we wanted to say about the following instructions and reading reviews. It's use your brain, and it's all about your own point of view. Never mind everybody else's.
Is that digressing again?
Oh yeah, very much digressing. But yeah, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people that go on TripAdvisor to read reviews about hotels. But I don't do that because I don't think that what other people have to say is relevant to me. But I do like reading reviews from, you know, guidebooks that are professional, but I don't make up my mind because somebody says it's good. I make up my mind because I have a feeling that I may like that, I may not like that, or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it was a big digression. We have a very important announcement to make, by the way. It's a very sad thing, but we are officially retiring Great Grandma's pincushion.
Actually, we talked about it last time, I think, and now we have made a decision. It will be retired because I was looking through some stuff in the studio, and I found this drawer full of embroidery yarn, and in this one I found an unfinished needle booklet.
Another one. Another unfinished project.
The finished one I can't find. I have no clue where that is. So instead of doing like a booklet for pins, I finished it, and I made it into a new pincushion, a small one. This is like a pillow for the dollhouse. Yeah. So it's a nice wool fabric on the back, and there's wool inside. And
I love it that you use some shiny wool or some
shiny yarn,
some Lurex yarn.
Yeah.
So anyway, here is the new pin cushion. And the reason why we're retiring Great Grandma's cushion is because we want to preserve it for the afterlife, don't we? Yeah. And we shouldn't use this anymore.
So now we're going to move all the needles.
Yeah.
Well, but I think it came out so nice. It can be like a pillow for the dollhouse.
Yeah.
And this is so fun because when I do this, I just start somewhere and I see what happens. So when this came out, there were no plan. And I took the back. This was the back of the booklet. So I started the new design on this one. This will be another pillow. What you call it? Pillowcase?
Pincushion.
Pincushion. This will be another pincushion. I'm not sure how this will look because I just started in the corners. I'm working my way in. So this will be a new one.
Hey, look what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Everything's moving now.
I think it came out really nice.
It did, yeah. It came out great.
And there was like one piece of fabric more. This is smaller than this pincushion, but you can do maybe 5 of this or 4.
Yeah.
4 pincushions from this fabric instead of just having it lying around. You can have 4 more.
So I guess what's going to happen now, Arne, at this moment, as people watch this, in this moment, we're going to get comments in our comments field. And guess what those comments are going to say?
Where can I get the pattern?
So where can we get the pattern?
You should.
Is it in our web shop?
I don't know.
Well, why don't we just make a decision now and make it easy for everybody?
But I don't know the color, the name of the color. Oh, I can find out.
Well, but the names of the colors can be any because people can do use their own imagination.
Yeah.
So is there a little pattern for the pin cushion on our web shop right now?
Yeah,
Shall we say yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so and another question: could there be like 3 or 4 patterns for 3 or 4 pin cushions?
That will come later.
So
because I'm working on this one.
Yeah. So
and we have the other one.
Yeah. So if you want to get the pattern for this cute little pin cushion, you can get it at arnecarlos.com. Just go to our web shop. And it will be available there so that you can embroider these lovely little things and add all your needles and maybe save your great grandma's pincushion.
But we need more. You see, it will be full.
Yeah.
So we need this one as well.
It is, yeah. You know, it's a lot of fun taking the pins and moving them from one.
But can you imagine how beautiful this will be? This will be even smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this will be pillows for the dollhouse.
Mm.
Because we're not throwing this away.
No.
And I found this, the jacket. How many years did you say it was?
You started that jacket in 2017 because you were very inspired by embroidery on clothing at the time. I remember that.
Yeah, and we
clearly.
did some designs also for Anchor.
Yeah.
And I finished one parrot and I'm working on this parrot and it stopped because I was out of the red color and I was out of the blue. But now when we're gonna pick up the car, I found out there's an embroidery yarn shop in that place and I'm gonna bring the jacket and I'm gonna have the right red and the right blue and then this will be finished for now. So there will be two parrots on the back of this jacket and then then I decided to have some flowers between them.
Look at all these pins.
Yeah, I know there's so many pins. If you press it, there's probably pins popping out. But look, Carlos, what do you think about having a floral motif
Yeah, that would be
in
nice.
between? So this is a very good jacket, and I found it in a thrift store for nothing.
Yeah, that's a really high-end jacket. It's from here. It's made in Italy, but the brand there's a brand in here somewhere. It's a really high-end.
And
It's a Zegna, Ermenegildo Zegna.
100% Australian wool.
Well, yeah, this is a really expensive, very high-end jacket.
I paid like nothing.
Yeah.
150 kroner.
Yeah, $15.
$15 for.
It's probably $1,500 if you get it in
and
a
now
Zegna
with this,
store.
all the embroideries I'm going to put on the jacket, it will be worth millions.
Yeah, you wish.
So I'm going to finish this one as soon as I get the yarn and take out the canvas. So we have a lot of things to do, and I ordered new yarn for the mandrill because now the bigger version is finished. But the blue I got was the wrong blue and there should be a lighter green, which I haven't got yet, but it's probably on the way. But it's really hard to pick colors from the color card on internet.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
It's
You're looking at a
impossible.
color this big, and then when it comes this big, it's not the same.
But I did the same with the parrots because I was ordering blue and red and I got a lot of red and blue and none of them were the same. So that's life.
Yeah, that's life,
So,
absolutely.
I'll go to the shop.
So look, the pins are coming out, and it would be nice to put this in a little drawer in our sewing furniture, the one that we got in Italy.
This one.
No, this one goes in there, and you. Well, where do you want to put it?
I want to frame it.
Frame it.
I have a.
You could put it in the bed in the dollhouse as well.
Actually, dollhouse could be nice.
Yeah.
It could be like a pillow in the dollhouse.
Yeah, a very old pillow.
Old pillow.
So I think I got most of them out, but probably not. No. There's plenty.
Look, you can't talk and do this.
You can feel that there's many in there.
But you can't talk and do things at the same time.
But anyway, the pin cushion is now officially in use.
But this one is dangerous. There are so many pins inside.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to put it in the dollhouse.
Maybe.
Could be dangerous for the dolls.
But there's.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more coming. Okay, and what more, Carlos? We have a crochet along plan.
We're planning a crochet and a knit along.
And a knit along.
For spring. It's going to start it's just going to start after Easter, or maybe on the Easter Sunday. And it's going to be done for 5 weeks. There's going to be a crochet along where we are going to show you how to crochet and join these gorgeous little flowers that we've made in felted tweed. And we're going to be dealing with this from beginning to end. So you're going to get five alongs where you can do that. And you can get the pattern for this at arnecarlos.com. And you can actually get it already now. So go to arnecarlos.com, get your pattern, and we will start the crochet along on the, I think maybe it's the 16th or the 17th of April. I don't know when Easter Sunday is, but I can check quickly.
And we're making what you call the thing you sit on.
It is April 17th. It's April 17th, the crochet along will start. So go to arnecarlos.com, get your pattern, and we will go through every single step by step, on camera, so that you can learn how to crochet and how to join the flowers to make a beautiful pillow or a beautiful throw or a beautiful something.
Yeah, because we are making one you sit on.
Sit pads? Or
pads? Is that the word?
I think so.
Because the new car is a leasing. We lease the car, and the interior is white, so we have to be very careful. So we're gonna do these things to sit on in the front seats.
Yeah, and also when we do this crochet along, the parallel to this is going to be a knit along, where we are doing a few more of the blocks or the squares.
Yeah, and we're gonna show you something.
And there's going to be a pattern as well for how to shape it.
Yeah.
If you want to make a patchwork something.
Yeah.
So
you already said it.
What?
It's a sweater. We're gonna show.
Yeah, we're going to show you how to make
shape it.
how to make a patchwork sweater by shaping the collar and all that. It will be really cool.
So we just show you how we do it, and then you can work from that.
Which means that we're starting a new UFO.
Could be.
I think it is already. It is. And it's going to be really nice. So anyway, we've got those two. Those are going to go parallel. There's going to be the crochet along and the knit along in the same episodes. And we can't wait to do this with you guys every Sunday from April 17th and then 5 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
And this year we're also doing the Easter eggs. We did those last year. But last year we did a everyday thing, a daily podcast for Easter. Mm-hmm. But we can't do that this year because we're so busy. So instead we are releasing, we have released 12 eggs that you can get at arnecarlos.com. And we've already shown 9 of them.
Yep.
And the last thing we're going to do today before our sit in it for a bit is over is to show you the remaining 3. After we do that, we're going to go get lunch. And I have some embroidering to do while you have some lining to sew. Yeah. And we will be back again with a new episode next Wednesday, I hope, if all goes according to plan.
Goes according to the plan.
So Arne,
I think it will.
It will, yeah. So this year's final Easter eggs, we
have the 3 last eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first one. This we call tradition number 2.
Because it's a Fair Isle pattern. Could be on a sweater, a traditional Fair Isle or Norwegian sweater
pattern. So, and they're knitted in our yarn, the Norwegian yarn, because we think those colors are really good on eggs, and we want to felt them later.
Yeah.
And then we made the bunny, a white
Easter bunny.
White Easter bunny.
And Easter bunnies, they need to eat, and so we got some carrots for the Easter bunnies. So here's the carrot. Let me do that so you can see. There's 4 carrots on there, so I think he'll be pretty full when he eats.
And 4 bunnies. So
1 each. They get 1 each. And the bunnies are proportionately quite small compared to the carrots. So they have a lot of food there. So that concludes our 12 Easter eggs for 2022. We hope you are enjoying knitting them. And if you haven't started yet, there's still plenty of time before Easter. We've got, there's a few more weeks left.
I've already seen a lot of them on Instagram.
I have too.
So that's nice. If you hashtag sit and knit for a bit, we can actually see what you're doing.
And Arne Carlos as well. So when you're doing your Easter eggs, hashtag them Arne Carlos, and we'll see them. And when it comes to our knit along and crochet along, we are going to be giving out a prize. So you guys have to stay tuned for those. It's a fantastic prize that we'll talk about when we start the knit and crochet along. So
we have a lot of stuff coming up.
A lot of stuff to figure out. Okay, I think that we've reached the 15 minutes limit and then some for this week's podcast. And it's time to do some work and maybe sit in the sun and enjoy a little bit of the outdoors today. So we hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up.
And if you're a subscriber, remember to put on your notifications, because then you won't miss episode.
If you want to be up to date with everything that is going on here, the newsletter is the best way to do so. So go to arnecarlos.com and sign up for our newsletter. In it, we will always inform you of everything that's going on. You will always be the first to know, and you will be the only ones to know where we're going to go on tour in the US, because we do not release that list anywhere else than in our newsletter. And it's also the place to get information about our garden tours. We're going to Italy in May, and of course our knitting cruises with Hurtigruten, the Norwegian Coastal Express, which we are going to be doing this year in May, and then hopefully in the fall as well. So
I think that's it.
That's it. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching.
And see you again next week.
And I just felt another needle.
Okay.
Okay. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.